Of your time, we're going to directly get started. Can we have a nice round of applause? We love the sound of applause. We have with us Mr. Chirag Mehta, the founder of Cliff Financial, and he has a presentation to share with you as well. So I'm going to hand over the mic to you as well as the very good sir.
Thank you. So right, we are fairly delayed for this presentation, but thanks for your patience, and I hope this session would be worth the wait. So when I spoke to Ritu a while back, she said, we want you to take up a session on finance, and what do you really think is going to be appropriate? And I told her, best sessions probably that we can do on finance is just directly to address the million-dollar question: how do we raise capital for a restaurant business? How many of you are from the restaurant industry or aspire to be in the restaurant industry? Right. So I see a lot of hands going up. I hope this topic would be of some value to you. So I'm a practitioner of finance. I run a boutique investment bank called Cliff Financial. Essentially, what we do is that we help raise capital for our clients, right? Debt, equity, mergers, acquisitions, essentially all three lines of corporate finance. So my views and perspectives in this session will be from what we've experienced in the industry. Also, I want to share with you a high-level snapshot of a proprietary framework that we use in our company. We call it the magic metrics, right? So a lot of time I'm going to spend talking about the magic metrics. So what essentially that's going to do is, using these metrics, you can evaluate for yourself whether the company or the idea that you have on the restaurant business, how ready it is for fundraising. Right? So since it was a workshop format, what I wanted to leave with you today was basically a tool which you could use maybe outside of this room to use yourself to some extent and come up with an answers that how ready are you to be able to raise capital. Right? So that's one part of what I'm going to talk about. The second, in a very brief session I'm going to take, is going to how do we actually do that. So essentially, the nitty-gritty is the process essentially of raising finance. So I don't want to get into the depth of things because we have very less time. So it's going to be a fairly high-level conversation, but we can probably do Q&A and you can ask more specific questions if there's something that's not clear or there's something which you would like to ask, something in more details. So the 5 plus 10 magic matrix is what I call it. So essentially it has two arms, right? There on the x-axis we have 5 key components, and on the y-axis we have 10 different formats of restaurant industry that we talk about. Now these 5 points that we have talked about in the magic matrix, and I will talk to you about each of them subsequently. Essentially, we believe these are the 5 components that are extremely critical, right, for you to be able to evaluate, which will determine how happy you can make an investor or potential investor. If you can hit a home run on these 5 points, there's a very, very high chance that you will potentially be able to attract an investor, because it's exactly what he's looking for in a business, right? So what are these 5 points? Now these are very commonplace, points. There's no rocket science to these points, and on the face of it, they might almost sound obvious. But real beauty of these points is not really what they sound like, but really the details that we're really talking about, and I'm going to touch upon that briefly. So the first point of the magic matrix, right? Conceptual uniqueness. It's pretty much, a very, very obvious thing, right? That whatever you're trying to do has to be unique, right? But the uniqueness comes in many shapes and forms, and that is essentially what I'm trying to highlight in this point. So I'm going to take the example of certain restaurants, case studies, to try and explain what I'm trying to say. And again, a disclaimer, it's not that we endorse any of those or condemn what we are talking about. I'm just going to take a lot of names of examples of restaurants just because they help communicate effectively what we're trying to say.